Hey there, my name is Kevin Dietz, founder of Break the Cycle and creator of this Debt Obliterator free video series where I show you exactly how to eliminate all debts, and yes, that does include your mortgage, in around 7 years using the money that you are already making. In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact process I use to eliminate debt faster than most people think possible, and I will show you exactly how you can do the same with your personal debt. I'm also going to show you how you can start today with mastering the tools we have discussed in the 3 prior videos. For those of you who have not seen the 3 previous videos, those tools included a summary of the damage debt is doing to you and your family, the process I personally used to find out where my money was bleeding out of my life, and then refocus that same money into financial freedom creating avenues to help me obtain prosperity. And the third thing we talked about was my #1 trick for eliminating all debts faster without paying any extra on your loans. In this video, I'm also going to reveal to you a few bonuses that I'd like to give you to enhance your journey to better financial prosperity for you and your family. So let's get started. Okay, so welcome to our Debt Obliterator course, the introductory course of the Money Master series done by Break the Cycle. And most of you have heard me ask this question before. But are we really living the American dream? Where we have white picket fences around our houses, nice cars, prosperity falling from the sky. You know, even the pets are extremely happy, right? Or are we living more like a nightmare? Foreclosures have been a hot topic in the news for years, and from what I hear, we haven't even seen the worst of it. Banks are hanging on to what they call shadow inventory, that they are hanging on to in an effort just to keep things afloat. Cars get repoed, we stress over bills, people end up homeless, and a lot of times the best case scenario is we keep all of our necessities and toys, but we are chained to our debt like the guy in the middle, all too often, for life. But what do you say? Let's break free from that, shall we? Now, we all know we live in a society where having your finances in order is crucial to really living the life you want and quite frankly deserve. What's more important than that, having your money working for you allows you the opportunity to focus on things so much more important than bills, debt slavery, and just money in general. Life is so much more than that, isn't it? I mean, regardless of what really lights your fire, from time with family and friends, traveling, hobbies, spending your time and extra money helping out charities and other worthy causes, it just can't be achieved if bills are constantly beating down your door, right? You know, money doesn't buy happiness, but it is hard to be blissfully happy like this baby when you struggle to pay your bills. This is why I created this program. Most people don't start out thinking to themselves, I'd love to work 60 to 100 hours a week just so I can live paycheck to paycheck and watch all my hard-earned income go right out the door, while the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So I am here to help you better navigate the game of money. So what's the problem? Personal debt, national debt, consumer debt, credit card debt, and the list just keeps on going. Debt that is owed to someone else. Now consider this phrase, the borrower is slave to the lender. Now, that doesn't seem to add up in the land of the free, does it? When I first heard that phrase, the borrower is slave to the lender, I really sat down and thought about that. Some people brush it off as a strongly worded metaphor, but think about it. Once you borrow money and promise to pay it back, you have to labor for more money in order to pay that back. It really is a 21st century version of slavery, and not simply a comparative analysis. It's actually dead accurate. Now, we went over some specific negative effects of debt in my first video, but for those who missed it, I want to hit some of the highlights. And maybe highlights isn't the best word in this case. Lowlights, maybe? Anyways, grab a seat and some Pepto-Bismol if you haven't heard this yet, because you just might need it. 7 out of 10 Americans are one paycheck away from homeless. Just one. And we've heard the phrase keeping up with the Joneses. Well, as we're keeping up with the Joneses, half of Americans spend more than they earn, and 96% of them will be dependent upon the government or their loved ones when they retire, if they even reach retirement. So keeping up with the Joneses is giving us a 96% chance at failure. So where does the retirement go? Where does the nest egg that we're all striving for, where we can just ride off into the sunset and relax, where does that go? Well, the average American carries 3.5 credit cards, and they keep an $8,400 balance on them. There's an $801 billion in revolving debt in the economy, $2.5 trillion in consumer debt, and Americans purchase $1.5 trillion on credit cards annually. The scariest part of that? The average credit card purchase is over double what it would have cost if we just pay cash. 1.5 trillion times 2 equals where the retirement is. That and the term mortgage is derived from two Latin words, mort, which means death, and gage, which means grip, and that was not a coincidence. Over the course of a mortgage, consumers typically pay 2.5 times the price of the house. Car loans end up costing $150,000 of the original price of the car. Scary, isn't it? Now, I have watched debt over the course of my life consume people of all types of income levels. I personally stayed out of the credit game for a long time, and I'm glad I did. I'm now highly active in it, but only because I continually to learn better ways to use it for my advantage. But that's a conversation for another day. Now, I'm a numbers nerd. I just can't help it. So I remember a time when a friend of mine had proudly bought a car for his wife and a truck for himself and financed them both. He bought the car for $32,000 and the truck for $38,000. Without telling him what I was doing, I asked him for financing numbers and figured out that over the course of these loans, he was going to pay $38,000 for the car and $45,000 for the truck. Of course, when I asked him if he would pay those prices for the vehicles, he emphatically said no way and proceeded to happily pay that price without knowing it. I had another friend who was strapped for cash somehow. I still don't know how he was struggling other than he wasn't aware of how money was leaking out of his life. He ended up going out for a payday loan, which are questionable at best anyways. But I watched him struggle for a year to get out of that loan because he kept having to borrow money against his paychecks to live up to his original agreement with the payday loan company. And I have one last story for you about me. A few years back I got a job selling cars. Now hopefully you didn't just cut the video right now, because we know how popular used car salesmen are. Anyways, the company I was working for told us we were to get the consumer to focus on how the payment fit into their monthly budget and not to focus on the total price of the car, let alone what the payment would cost when paid out over the loan. Now, I want to repeat that. The company I was working for told us we were to get the consumer to focus on how the payment fit into their monthly budget and not the overall price of the car. Now, I personally can't get behind this level of quote-unquote salesmanship, as it seems rather dishonest to me, but unfortunately it worked like a charm multiple times over the 2.5 months I worked there. I watched the other salesmen work that strategy to the bone, and a lot of people left not knowing what hit them. You see, consumers, and in my opinion you should hate that term with a passion, consumers have been trained to make it through the next pay period or month, and it is killing, absolutely killing, long-term sustainability in their life. Now there are examples upon examples that I could share with you, but the point is I've felt the angst of wondering if I could make it through the next month. I have wondered if I'd be able to break the cycle of handing out my hard-earned money month after month and getting nowhere. That life is not for me, and by watching this video I can tell that it is not for you either. So, remember when I told you I have a program to help you eliminate all the chains of debt from your life? Let me tell you a little bit about that. And I have a video for you based upon my own personal research and testing it in my own life and with some friends and family members' situations. Now, to illustrate the power of this process, I would like to tell you the story of two men. Now, these two grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same schools, and received the same financial programming growing up. They ended up in the same department at the same company with the same title, and as you can see here, they make the same pay. And they now live right next to each other with the same cars, same house layout, same pets. They even married twin sisters and have the same 2.4 kids. There's only one difference. Man A decides it's time for a change, purchases this course, and decides to change his programming. And as a side effect, become instantly more handsome. Man B does not. He continues to live with the same programming he received growing up and sadly stays not quite as handsome. Now Man A, using the tools he learns with his particular situation, he eliminates his debts in 5 years and 7 months. Man B continues to live the typical consumer lifestyle. Man A starts to invest the $3,000 plus each month he had been wasting on debts. Now, man B is a good guy and is just living what he's always known. However, he's playing by the wrong rules, and he pays his mortgage out over decades using standard payments. He never misses a payment, never faces foreclosures or repos. He's living the American dream. So 24 years, 5 months later, man B will own his home. But because he never got out of the consumer lifestyle, he most likely will still have a car payment, credit card bills, and other debts, and have virtually nothing in investments. And man B must be somewhat of a dimwit, because while he continues to do that, he watches man A, who now is more handsome, let's not forget that, in the same 24 years and 5 months, own his home and cars, has zero debts, and has 4.4 million in investments. This is if he was getting 10% average annual return, which means from this point on, man A is earning $440,000 a year in interest from his investments with no debt payments going out. This is the power of what my program, when applied, will do for you. So how did I learn this? I'd love to tell you that I'm a genius, that somehow at the age of 3 I started to figure out complex financial theories with my Lincoln Logs and studying under the Count on Sesame Street. I mean, that guy was pretty good at numbers. But the truth is, I just study life. In particular, in this financial area, I've watched people of all income levels struggle. As a matter of fact, just last night I watched a documentary about professional athletes who made 10, 25, 120, even $400 million and go broke shortly after their careers ended. So really what it comes down to is not how much money we make, but how we handle it. And as we mentioned before, 96% of Americans are not handling it right. So if you're willing to do what most people won't for the next couple of years, you'll be able to do what they can't for the rest of your life. This product I have for you started when I found a similar product that showed a simple but very effective way to get rid of debt. I studied that program until I had the basic premise of it down. Then I started researching debt in general and how interest rates really worked. Next, like in any area of my life, I read a lot of books, and I do mean a lot. Books about mentality of money and financial success, books about investing and how to budget, books about financing my own business, and just about any other topic you can think of when it comes to money. And lastly, I've come to understand the power of a mentor. So I listen to wealthy individuals on their takes on money and how they handle it in their lives. Now during this time I spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours really digging into this information. And you are going to be able to gain access to the main points I took away from all this research for a fraction of the cost. Now, I'm a nuts and bolts guy, so what you will get is the exact step-by-step process of getting completely out of debt once and for all using the money you already make, with no fluff added. I'll share with you how much debt is costing you, and believe me, it is costing you more than just money. How you are being seduced into debt, how exactly you can start building wealth in your life immediately, and I'm talking about today. How to pay off all debts, death grip included, in around 77 years, and how to create the life of your dreams. And this is the really exciting part, because not a lot of Americans get to reach the point where they can completely wipe the slate clean, redesign their life exactly the way they want, and do things that they want to do with their time and their money. And on top of all these benefits, I'm going to give you some big fat juicy bonuses that are worth more than the price of the system. These might even be more exciting than the system itself. So obviously you want to know, what is this going to cost? Well, I'm obviously not going to charge you $150,000. But that would make it a wash, because that is what the average family saves when applying this method. No, we certainly don't want you to just break even in this game of life. We are looking to break the cycle. How about $624, like the value of the bonuses I'm going to give you? I thought about this, but no, that's not good enough either. What about $350? I personally have spent much more than this on a single home study course, or 2, or 4, and quite frankly, they were less valuable and had more fluff in them than what I'm going to be giving you access to. So $350 seems pretty fair to me, but my goal isn't simply to be fair. My goal is to equip you with the tools to go out and crush whatever it is hindering you from the life you want. That's what life is, at least for me, crushing our goals and living our dreams. So you will get access to my complete system for $147. And because the economy is tough, I want to be sure to get you in the driver's seat down the financial freedom highway. If $147 is just not an option, and trust me, I've been in a situation where $147 was not an option. We have an easy payment plan of 3 payments for $57. You see, I don't want anyone to miss out on this. This program right here will start breaking the financial chains that hold you back and allow you to redesign your life any way you choose, as long as you apply it. As a matter of fact, as a commitment to my product and to you, I personally guarantee that if you can't see the power of this system after putting your figures down on paper, or if the system just doesn't seem worth the price I have here for you, or if you just decide you don't like the color of my shirt in the video, I will give you your money back, no questions asked. So what about the bonuses? Well, first off, I'm going to provide you with the official Debt Obliterator paperwork. Sure, you could scratch out some steps on some notebook paper and that would work, but these will help keep you organized and focused. And these are valued at $27. Next, I'm going to provide you a free report, my Credit Crusher report. It's worth $97 and it describes how to get that perfect credit score. Paying down your debts certainly will help your score, but if you really want to affect some change on your credit report, this booklet is sure to help you. It's packed full of potent information and powerful tips. You will also receive a coupon that you can use for future Break the Cycle products at your discretion for 50% off. These will cover topics such as investing, starting your own business online, organic eating, juicing and recipes, workout studies and reports, and a lifestyle optimization program, just to name a few. Now, some of these products are still coming down the pipeline, so the prices aren't firm yet, but this alone could be worth up to $500. And my favorite bonus of all, we're going to do monthly drawings to help you out of debt. When you purchase today, you will be entered for this month's drawing to be chosen at random to receive a money order made out to any of your debt payments. This depends on our number of sales, so the value can vary, but we want to give you a jump start if we can. Okay, so I hope you see the value here. The main program will explain more about the damage debt causes, how you're encouraged into debt, and specifics about credit cards, car loans, and death grips. And once we raise your awareness to the point where you understand that you have to change the way your finances are headed, I will show you step by step how to obliterate all of your debts in around 7 years. And if you apply this process, it will save you $150,000 in interest. That's the average that families save when they apply the process. Now, beyond that, you'll receive official debt obliteration paperwork that will keep you organized and on the fast track to your goal. You will also receive the Credit Crusher report so you can learn information about your credit score that the general public is not supposed to know. And once you're armed with this information, you can really make some big changes to your credit score and get better interest rates in the future. Not to mention that coupon for 50% off future Break the Cycle programs. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Just before I posted this video, Willy Wonka called me and offered me 2 of his golden tickets for this bonus alone. That's how exciting this 50% off deal is. And lastly, I want to reiterate the random drawing bonus. All orders that come in this month will be entered into a random drawing to receive a money order made out to any one of the winner's debts to help get you moving a little faster. And once you see the power of this system, you'll tell all of your friends and family and encourage them to gain access as well. And then maybe that pot will be so big, it will get you moving a bit faster. That bonus really is priceless, and it's the one I'm the most excited about. It could range in actual monetary value, but in order to be eligible, you'll want to enter your information today. So do something today that your tomorrow self will thank you for. Gain access now, and I'll see you on the inside.